What?
You elbowed me in the boob.
Oh, I'm sorry, elbowed it right in the through. Well, yay! We finally got it to go live. It's 4:20. Happy birthday to me! Woo!
Yay! Happy birthday!
Yay! And it's raining behind us. That's why we're on the porch. It's actually looking a little better. You can see some of the girls behind us, and it's pretty awesome. Now, if I can get this open, here, help me out. Can't get it open. Yeah, my phone would not let me go live for a minute, so had to fix that issue. And now here we are.
What is this?
Yay! It's blueberry. Yeah, so it's pretty yummy. It's
Smells
blueberry.
good.
Yay! So I'm really excited. Hopefully some people can either join or hey, somebody's already joining. Yay! Thank you. Yeah, we're just gonna be out here. It's gonna rain, and I wanted to cover the girls, but unfortunately, I did not get my wigger wire up because I had to take my dog to the vet, and I had to spend all my money on that instead of getting the extra wood I needed to put the plastic up. But I think they're gonna be fine. It's only gonna rain for a couple hours, so there we go. So here we are. I'm gonna smoke for 420. Ooh, that's nice. This is pretty awesome. I don't know. I don't think you guys can hear it, but it's lightly raining behind us. It's awesome. I was originally going to try to be up on the plank in between the plants and be up there in the buds, but yeah, I don't want to sit in the rain, and it's kind of cold. So, but yeah, this is pretty awesome. Hey, hello. Here, let's slide over. We're on the edge of the porch, so if we all of a sudden fall off, it's because we went off the deck. We'll try not to do that, okay? So yeah,
Somebody asked what strain you're smoking.
this is this is a blueberry indoor because I had no more blueberry left, and I really wanted to smoke some blueberry on my birthday. I also got myself a little gift of some indoor pie hoe as well from King's Garden. And so I got a little bit indoor for my birthday. But yeah, we were out of blueberries. So yeah, that went like the first. Everybody liked that the most. So it went quick. I hope some people are getting to smoke with us right now. It's pretty nice. Yeah, the bud tender was like, yeah, this is the most sedative one we have. I'm like, okay, I'll probably need that, even though it really won't sedate me much. Whew, it's like staying right here because of all the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's going to be a rainy week, which is kind of cool, but not at the same time. It's right at the very end when I'm trying to flush. And right now I've been flushing for about 5 days. I accidentally made the mistake of flushing. I was thinking I was flushing, but I was preoccupied with my puppy being hurt. And I was flushing and still giving the Protect, the silica. And so I did that for 4 days and went, wow, what am I thinking? I'm supposed to be flushing right now. And so unfortunately, I was not fully flushing for the 4 days, but it's really not that big a deal. It's only a trace amount of minerals compared to like if I was going to be doing my whole regimen of nutrients and all that, and or having something a lot stronger than just a little bit of silica, because technically if I was growing in the ground it would already have silica and it would just naturally be there, so I wouldn't be able to get that out of there. It would just be whatever I could flush into the plant and have it run down into the world, into the earth. So I think I might have let, oh no I didn't.
Almost.
But yeah, a little bit of a bug update. The bugs have been really doing well, the predator bugs. I've been seeing a lot of eggs around, and it's been really exciting. There's the two that got the worst damage from the bugs were the CBD, and I kind of figured that might happen because they did not have as much time to acclimate in their pots, in the big pots before I had flipped them. There was only like 2 weeks. And so I think next time if I had given them a little bit more time, they would probably be a lot better off. but the predator bugs are really doing a great job. Like you can see them on the plant, like at war basically with each other, and you can see like there's a lot more of the pirate minute bugs and the lacewings, and you can really see them like just going to town on those bad bugs. It's pretty freaking awesome. And I've seen like different stages of the lacewings. Like there's like eggs hanging, and there's also the larvae that's like, and they really do. They are a trip. They're called the aphid lions, and they really do. They like rear up, and they look like they're just attacking the other bugs. It's pretty freaking awesome to see. I wish I could have got a quick video of that, but the other day when I was watering, I went to go take a video of it, and the thing was gone. It was like climbing up the tree after more aphids. So I'm like, okay, just let it do its job. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. I've been watching all the bugs do battle. I was out there for a little while just trying to make sure that there was no caterpillars, which I did find a few, but not too many, so I was like happy about that. The one thing that my predator bugs couldn't really do is get rid of ants or the caterpillars. They could take out some of the larvae of the beginning stages of the caterpillars, but not, not everything after it got bigger. So when I couldn't get the predator bugs in the very beginning, it kind of took its a little bit of a toll. But I just went in and manually got those caterpillars, and it was really cool. It actually, I think I got them all because I took away all the eaten leaves, and there wasn't any more coming back. So I'm hoping to find very few caterpillars when I harvest, if any. So yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, I can't see what that question is. a, a lot of people were asking what the predator bugs do when I go to harvest. And what happens with the predator bugs when they go to harvest is they're just like the other bugs. They go and try to find another live plant to go and inhabit instead of just being on this dead plant hanging. And even though it's at a good point for me, it's not at them for them anymore. So it's not alive and thriving. So they don't want to really be on it. So I can usually shake them off or just watch them kind of crawl off or fly off into whatever other plants I have. And this year I had already bought some seeds and some good bug meal. And I'm going to be putting that out in my vegetable garden so I can keep those good bugs here for next year. So, and did you see what that question is?
Somebody's asking about the weather, and I think.
Yep, it's raining right now, for sure. She's going to look at some past questions, but right now it is totally raining. That's why we're on our porch. And we got the babies in the background. I've got my 2-pound cake right here. And unfortunately, I'm just going to have to shake them off later. We're going to get like a half an inch of rain. And yeah, I'm going to just have to shake them off later. And it is what it is. So, nope. We're still looking for the other question. But yeah, I'm so glad you guys could join us. This is awesome.
There
and this is running.
Oh, yeah, it is running. There we go.
Probably my bad for talking.
How you doing? Cheers. Cheers to both of us.
Oh, here, let me. Let's not use the propane tank for a drying thing.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. There you go.
All
There's
right.
your
Okay, wait, I
questions.
can't see all that. Okay. Well, cheers to everyone out there. Let's do a little smoke here.
Yeah, there you go. How's your plants doing was one of the questions.
Oh, they are really doing good. Yes, they're almost at the end. I have been flushing for about 5-6 days now. And technically, I was flushing for about 5 days before that. But I did end up giving him Protect because I was so distracted with my poor doggy Rocky. He hurt his leg, and so I was totally distracted. And I was on autopilot every morning trying to just get up and deal with him before I had to like work and everything. And so I was feeding them Protect. And granted, it's silica, but yeah, I was giving him a little bit of Protect. And I don't think it's really going to be that big a deal because it's just a trace mineral. And it's a mineral that's already in the ground. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to flush them as long as I can and just do what I gotta do. But yeah, so far I've been flushing for at least 5 days with the final flush and with just the purified water. So yeah, and that's kind of the key is if you flush with your city water or well water, it's going to have minerals in it, and so it's still going to be getting some nutrients, and the plant's going to still think that it's supposed to absorb nutrients, even though it's in the bud stage. So it's best to try to filter that water and give them filtered water and like a final flush or even just filtered water, because as soon as they have like that little bit of silica, it's gonna still think it's supposed to uptake that nutrients, and so I'm trying not to have that in there. And I stopped the Protect 5 days ago, so I'm really excited. It's the final stages. I was hoping to harvest on the full moon on Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's probably not going to be because of the Protect. Uh, oh no! Bummer that you broke your hand.
That
Oh no!
sucks.
But at least you still got to harvest, so
Yeah.
better early than not at all, unfortunately. But yeah, I was gonna almost harvest early because of the rain, but I was like, you know what? Hopefully, we'll get only a little bit of it, and I can just go shake the trees off tonight, and it won't be that big a deal.
I mean, it seems like tiny little bits now. Look, it's not really raining
Right
anymore.
now, anyways, it
Yeah.
said I looked at the radar and it looked really dark green and yellow. The yellow was above us, but we got a lot of dark green, so I'm
Watch your rock
figuring.
star. You're almost ashing in it.
Oh, I'm figuring by like 7 o'clock tonight when it's over, it's gonna rain maybe half an inch, and so I'm really gonna try to just shake them off after that. And luckily, there'll be no sun on them, so it'll be kind of cool. They'll be dried off. Oh,
Anyway, you could add some manure or something if you're doing it at the end of the season.
um, technically, you don't really want to add any other manure or any other things to it. You just really want to, unless you're keeping a crop growing. But technically, you want to just stop all of that, and you want to just give them plain water.
What do you add after season?
Oh, for after the season
If you do.
for next year.
If you do. I don't know. Table Dungeons, but
Oh. um. So, well, I don't know. Do you mean like after the crop is over for like getting the bugs through next season or getting ready for next season, or because what I do for next season is I got some new seeds and new the predator bug feed, and so it's like butterfly food, and so and hummingbird food. I'm just gonna put that out a little bit here and there, and then grow the flowers. That's gonna be good for them, and just weather through. And I'm gonna put them on all the big excuse me, in the big pots too. I'm gonna put that all in the big pots, and that way I'll have some flowers to just keep all the good bugs there.
somebody asked, did you utilize silica during your grow?
Mm-hmm.
And another question is after crops so you can feed your soil.
Yes, I do try to do like I try to stick with. First of all, I did end up having the silica throughout the whole crop. I did the Protect, and like I said, I did forget to take that away for the first 4 days of flush, and I'm like, oh god, that's actually a mineral. So take that away. But the silica really helps the strong stalks and to protect against whether it gets too hot or too cold. And it really, really gives the plant a lot better structure. I've done it without, and it doesn't seem like they get quite as much strength out of each branch. They're like a little bit more wispy and yeah, just not as strong. So I really do like to have the silica throughout, and I use what's called Protect, and it's just a certain, I think it's from Dynagrow, but yeah, it's just a certain brand of silica. But it's really good because it's actually in the Earth's core anyway. So if you're going to put your plants outside, they would naturally have that. So you probably wouldn't have to add it if you're in the ground already. So unless you're just doing soil that you added, if you're using your actual soil from your land, you probably wouldn't have to add it. But and what was the other question? Oh,
You answered both of those.
oh, okay, cool.
Then he did, if you're doing no-till soil, do you have to do it 6 months before? But if you're adding, let's say, cow manure, you have to do it at least 22 days before.
Yeah, otherwise it's too hot. It can be really hot. Like I learned that when I'm redoing my pots in the summer, I really have to like redo it without only a little bit of chicken manure because that's like the biggest amount of nitrogen that's concentrated. and try to use the most dry stuff. Yeah, I don't use like fresh chicken manure because it's super intense with nitrogen unless I have a long time for it to get like watered in or weathered in or just sit and I don't know what they call it, but it's just called when your soil's hot. And they say it's too high in nitrogen or too high in any kind of nutrients. And that is always better to let it sit throughout the winter or just at least through some summer months while you just like have some other stuff grow in it or just let it sit for a little bit. Like I do mine and I just let it sit for a little bit and then I start planting some other side crops in as much as I can and then just start like doing it like that. And unfortunately, these last couple of years, I haven't been able to get the extra companion plants, just the marigolds, because they're always super cheap. But I think this coming year, if I'm gonna do it, I want to start maybe doing some kind of like thyme or some kind of herb that helps repel the plants because the thyme kind of deters a lot of bugs. So I want to do more of like a ground cover where it's not I don't have to use any more alfalfa, and that would be probably a better idea. Less bugs that way. So, oh, I think I let it go out. I talk a lot. But yeah, it's getting pretty cold. It's getting pretty cold. It's pretty gray out. You wouldn't believe it's like just in the afternoon. Last year we were getting too hot in the sun, and this year it's pretty rainy. So I think that's a good sign for the drought. You know, it's pretty awesome. What happened?
I opened the door to let Savannah in, and a spider started crawling inside, and I had to grab him and put him back outside.
Oh, did I not? Yeah, that's how you do it.
She found her bed.
Oh, yeah, the dog's about to flip over her bed in a sec, so hopefully the camera won't tip over. Woo! Yep, now that's up there. I have a cool display of fall with all my vegetables and stuff, and I think the dog wants to grab it. She thinks it's a ball. That's pretty awesome. Okay, here,
Move
let
your
me...
body.
Okay, fine, be under your bed then. Okay. Oh, every year I try to do something better. Oh, here, I'm gonna end up dropping your phone. Every year I try to do something a little better, a little different. This year I actually tried to start doing my bugs and stuff a little bit earlier, and I realized that I have to wait a little bit to do the predator bugs because the other predator bugs in the yard will attack those eggs, and I will have no predator bugs that I got initially, and it really was frustrating. Those very first initial bugs that I got when they were in the small pots, I have to learn every year to do something a little bit different. And I've learned like to do the companion plants, and I've learned to do the predator bugs and all that kind of stuff. Here, can you just? I can't read that. You have it tiny.
Okay. It's the only size it gives you, because it's just whatever it's on the app. So when you start next year, when you add more, means you'll be starting from 0 and up now, or does that make any sense?
Um, Technically, if you've already used all your soil, all the nutrients and whatever, and you're doing like the container plants like I am, you're pretty much starting from 0 if you know, because you flushed and all that nutrients out. It's just basically taking up space. And so it's just you got to get a filler that adds in all the nutrients, like the manure, or like I get the bales of amendments because I don't want to deal with the manure and all that because I tend to end up making it too hot. And the very first year I grew here, it was super hot, and I learned really fast not to use the really fresh stuff because that was too much for me, and I always overdid it. And I know people can just say, "Oh, just don't do that. Just don't overdo it." But it seemed like no matter what I did, I overdid it. Like one little cup for a whole 300-gallon pot. It seemed like it was overdoing it. And I'm like, "What?" And then everyone else is like, "No, no, no, put way more than that." And I'm like, "I'm killing my plant." But yeah, I've had to learn different things each year and try to go better each year. Each person has to do their own little assessment of what they have going on. And some people can have it a lot easier. I have people that were like, "Oh, I had a great ecosystem with all my bugs. I didn't have to order any predators. Didn't even have to spray." I'm like, well, lucky you. I didn't have that luck. But then I had a lot of people that were just like, I sprayed bug spray and it was no big deal. So, you just can't spray it at the very, very end. And yeah.
You add some now, so by next year will it be charged fully back to where it was? Maybe richer.
Um, you can add a little in at this time of year, but I would count on adding a little more at the end of the year, like at the very beginning of spring, like as soon as it starts to thaw and as soon as it starts to get where you can start planting and doing stuff outside. I would maybe do a little at each time because what you do now is going to help everything be beneficial throughout. And then if you feel like that, like the ecosystem didn't return and come back, like if you have like a bunch of earthworms and all that, then you're like, oh, okay, I don't need to really replenish it again in the spring. But if you look at it and you're like, okay, the earthworms aren't sticking around and the beneficial bugs don't really look like they're there, then add some more nutrients and maybe add some like nematodes or go get some earthworms from another part of the yard or from the freaking fish store. Go shipping, go shopping at the place where you can get live bait, and you can even throw the earthworms in and just start, or go get earthworms from wherever you can get them from. I think you can get them at the hardware store now because they got a lot of like lawn and garden stuff. So okay, I might let this out. I'm getting really baked.
Someone said plant horsetail. It goes wild here
Ooh,
to help
nice.
your silica, and then never plant before 21 days of adding manure.
Right. Yeah, you always gotta let your soil get conditioned and let that hotness
Are you
like kind of
passing yet?
settle it
Or?
out. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying
I'm like, I'm not really
to.
sure.
Yeah, you always gotta give your soil time. Like even if you just wait all year and then just do it right before you plant in the spring, you gotta give it at least a few days to get filtered in and like get watered in and
Mm-hmm.
get that nutrients all spread throughout and not have it be sitting in one lump area for your plants to get too hot and too overdone. But yeah, this coming year I know a few tricks. I know some of the extra nutrients I can give them by top feeding them with that new
I
dressing.
blew that right in your face. I'm
And
sorry.
yep. And I know quite a few other things with the tricks with the bugs and with the companion plants too. So each year I'm learning more and more. And so I'm excited to keep learning. And who knows what's going to tail next year? We don't know. But I'm just going to get through this year and see what we can do.
Basically, dig a hole, drop some in as food, come back 21 days later, dig a hole and put the plant in.
I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly 21 days, but I mean, you could probably roughly do that. Yeah. I mean, you could do less than that if it's not too hot of nutrients and stuff. I mean, if you're just using straight manure, I would at least wait that long. Maybe a little longer. You just kind of have to see how it looks, like see how the manure is like spreading out throughout that dirt, kind of really spread it out. Don't let it sit in one lump. That's why the freshest stuff is hard for me because it tends to just ball up and be like wet. And so I like the dried stuff, and then that way you can crumble it in throughout. And it takes a little less than, it takes 21 days or less. You don't have to wait like a month or two, because sometimes when you have just straight chicken manure or straight, like, if you use horse manure or llama's not quite so bad because llama has a lot, it's more of a even amount of NPK, where chicken manure and other manures are going to be higher in nitrogen. So whatever manure you're using, look that up and see, make sure if it's higher in nitrogen or if it's more of a threat straight across. Because I know llama is usually more of a straight number across, like a 444 or a 222, whatever it is. It's all three is the same. And if you have one that's higher in nitrogen, that's way better for veg. Or it's just going to be, or it can be too much. So you have to like really make sure that that's broken up into the soil and, really distributed well. So yeah, you just kind of make sure that you look up which one you're using and how fresh it is. And the fresher it is, the longer you should wait because it's got to break down a little bit more into that soil. So if you use like fresh, wet pieces, then definitely wait a little longer so you can break it up into the soil. So I love talking poop. Okay, I think I'm done because I'm
Yeah.
really, really baked right now. I am. I am. Whew. I'm so glad I can finally wear the shirt. I'm so excited. I waited like 50 years. No.
It's cold.
Yes, it's very cold. So I think that we're gonna end up going back inside now. And I'm so excited that we got to talk with you guys. I hope I didn't like not get to answer too many questions. And I'm so glad everybody could join us. This is pretty awesome. But yeah, it's starting to rain a little harder, so we're just gonna go in and be warm and watch some scary movies. It'll be pretty awesome. And yeah, so thank you guys for always watching. I really appreciate all of you. And yeah, thanks for hanging out on my birthday. This has been pretty awesome. And my baby girl here hanging out and smoking with us. And the dogs, even though you didn't get to see them. So yeah, but it's pretty cold and we're going to go inside. And I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday or whatever day it is where you are. Because I think it's advanced over in the UK. I don't know.
It's Australia. That's
Oh
okay.
yeah, I don't know. Don't get yeah. Just
Australia,
know I
New
have no
Zealand
idea
are
what I'm talking
usually
about at this point.
ahead.
I'm really picked. But yeah, this has been a great birthday, you guys, and thank you again for hanging out. And yeah, we're gonna bid you adieu, and I hope you all have a peaceful day. Oh wait, I don't know how to stop it.
The X.
Where?